Hi guys, I think so we are all ready to start. All right, so today's sessions we're going to discuss about questionnaires, how to create one, how to create self-booking interviews and how we can forecast about it. The other topic we're going to discuss about the Hiring Mgr Tools Springboard provides, including job request, Hiring Mgr Feedback, Hiring Mgr Access, Bulkprint. Also, we're going to cover generating offer letters and creating some passive talent pipeline, which can be used before we advertise any role. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, note down, and we can cover those questions at the end of the presentation. Thank you. The first topic we're going to discuss is questionnaire. The questionnaire wizard allows the recruiters or recruiter coordinator to ask a set of questions apart from the application form to the applicant while applying for a role. It can be used as pre-screening questions or some sort of extra information in relation to a specific job. For example, how many years of experience you have as implementation consultant, or do you have experience working in London? To create questionnaire, we need to have a set of questions which can be used within a questionnaire. Let's start creating a question first. To do so, please click on Advertisement, Questionnaire Builder, and click Create Question. You will need to fill the form, which starts with question text. It's going to select, do you have experience working in Sydney? The question type allows you to select from different type we have. Starts with radio list, drop down, or can be a free text. If you're not sure about the type, you can click on the question icon and it will give you an example on how the different questions looks like. The section text is basically some help around the question itself, which can be, please limit your response within 200 words. So that way when you see the question, that text will be considered as a help text. The required question field up is basically requesting you that do you want this question to be asked to all the questionnaires are created in past or in future. At the bottom, you also get options to add different choices. So in case if you select drop-down list, you can decide what options you want, such as yes, no. You can also add tags at the same time when a candidate responds to the question. Let's press save. Once you have created all the questions, now it's time to create questionnaire. To create questionnaire, click questionnaire at the top, then press the plus icon at the bottom of the screen to create a new group. You are then supposed to select all the questions you're willing to ask and then press the tick icon. I'm going to select a couple of questions and then press the tick icon. The following sections display all the selected questions, and in this case, if you wish to change the order, you can do so. Once you have done, give a name to the group. And press save. You are now successfully created a questionnaire. It's time to attach it against a job or an advertisement. Let's go back to our dashboard page. Find an existing job you're willing to attach an extra set of questions. There will be a questionnaire section on the which says application questions. Press create edit. You can now select from the set of questionnaires which is available for your business. I'm going to go to the last page. Now it's in the ascending order. Just going to click on and then press finish. It will show all your questions being created and press save. This is how you create a questionnaire and attach against a requisition. After attaching against a requisition, from the candidate's perspective, once candidate is applying for the role, I've already pre-filled an application form. So once a candidate applies for a role and fill the standard application form, the next page will be asking about the extra questions, or in terms questionnaire, attached against the requisition. Candidate has to submit all the information before they can apply for the role. Once they have done, all they need to do is press submit. From the Springboard perspective, once that's been completed, recruiter can view the questionnaire results within the application tab. That can be exported in Bulkprint, which is another Hiring Manager field, or can be exported through Export to Excel and can be used by the recruiters. The next topic for today is Interview Scheduler. The following tool or wizard basically allows you to set up future interview slots so that candidate can self-book or unbook interviews. To action that, click on the folder on which you want to set up, right? Let's say right-click on the folder, click Manage Interviews, and then press Create Bulk Interviews. The first page captures event details about the interviews and location of it. You can also add panel member who will be conducting the interviews. If your panel member isn't Springboard user, then you can click on Create New to create a new panel member quickly. You can also add instructions in the field, which will be included in the templates received by the candidate. Once you have filled the first page, press Save. The next page is basically capturing about the slots you're trying to create. We have two different options when you're trying to create the interview slots. First is called Fill the Time Period, which means you have a start date, an end date, and you got a start time for that period, and end date for the period. System knows that for that period and duration, it's going to create 8 slots. If you wish to increase the duration time, the system automatically changes the duration slot. You can also decide how many candidates can be there or can book for each session. For example, if it's used for assessment center can hold large number of candidates. In this case, let's say 20. Therefore, once you're done, you can see that it has changed to 60 candidate slots. Once you have figured out your time period, you press Generate. It also gives you a warning if there's a predefined booking and there's a conflict around. Press Generate done. Let's say after creating slots, you get a call from the panel member and decided that they are not available to attend for a particular time frame. All you can do is come back to the same page, click on the slots, highlight them, and press Delete Highlighted. That way, you can remove any existing slots from being booked by the candidate. The final step of creating an interview slot is configuring automated communication. In this page, we're basically defining all the email templates at different stages. The first stage is invitation. Any candidate falls into that folder or step of your business process. In this case is interview. Email will be triggered through Springboard, and we can decide what email template needs to be triggered. The first email template we have to select is for the invitation. You can also decide whether you want to send a reminder if candidate forgets to book within a time period. The next booking section is for the recruiters. So if a recruiter's book a candidate through Springboard, we can also make sure that email goes out at the same time. The final page at the bottom also talk about what other email templates needs to go when a candidate books itself. Once you have finalized and decided, you press Finish. From the candidate's perspective, let's move a candidate which has applied for the role to the interviews folder. From the candidate's perspective, candidate will receive an email which will tell them to log into the careers page and to view the interview and book for the interview slots available. All they need to do is, after logging to the careers page, they have to click on the interview scheduler and select for the time period available for them. Candidate can book on it, can view the locations by clicking on the map icon. And if they think that time period is not suitable for them, they can also click on the unbook icon and then again pre-select from the existing one. That's the interview scheduler. Now we're going to focus on other different hiring manager tools available for the hiring managers. The first one we have is job request. The job request, or in other words, request to hire tool, is a 4-step tool used by hiring managers or recruiters in some cases. The following tool allows the user to request upcoming vacancies. In other words, job. The initiator, mostly hiring manager, is supposed to fill the electronic form which goes to approvers before recruiter can action on it. The first page is basically capturing information about the initiator. The second page captures information about the vacancy which has occurred. Let's quickly enter information. Press next. The third page is where the initiator decides to enter the one-up manager details, who's going to approve or reject the request. You can have list of approvers in different cases. Also, we can have drop-down fields of fixed approver if you don't want hiring manager to enter manually. Once you have finalized, the final page is a read-only page just for the proofread before requesting. And once the hiring manager confirms all information is relevant and correct, all they need to do is press submit. After pressing submit, email gets sent out to the initiator. For example, this is a confirmation email which informs to the initiator that they have successfully initiated the request. The email contains a link. That link takes the candidate hiring manager to view the status of the request. If they figure out that there's a mistake within the request, they can click on retract button and start filling the form again. And another email goes out to the initiator approver. In this case, I put a package detail. They will receive an email says they have been assigned as a approver. All they need to do is click on the link, confirm their identity, and the final page is to view the read-only form of the initiator field and then decide whether they want to approve or not. Once they confirm, all they need to do is press approve. If all approvers accept the request vacancy, Springboard then generates the requisition so that the recruiter coordinator can action on it. Once it's been approved, we can also configure in a way that recruiter or RC can be notified when the requisition comes within the Springboard. Let's go and check out how the requisition looks. Once a requisition appears, it will appear within Springboard as draft. And that way we can see now that the draft requisition has been created. The other tool we got is Hiring Mgr Feedback. Let's go into an application grid. Hiring Mgr Feedback is used to send shortlisted candidates to Hiring Manager to review their application form, resume, and CV if attached, and get feedback. A good use case can be that it can be used prior to setting up interview. Recruiter selects all their shortlisted candidates and then raise the request by clicking on the Select Action button or right-click. And then let's do it. In this case, select all the candidates, right-click, and click on Review Tools, select Request Feedback. The first page provides you a quick message on what tool does. Also, details selected against a candidate. Once confirmed, press Next. The second page captures the panel chair details. You can have multiple panel chair reviewing the applications. Let's quickly enter some details. The fourth page and the final page is where it captures. Third page is where we enter the review guidance tool. This is usually a KPI, or we can get key criteria selection for the hiring managers. You can also have to enter a due date so that panel member has to complete before the due date. If they haven't completed, they're not allowed to view or provide a feedback for the following candidates. Press Finish once you have confirmed, and the final page will just give you a message. Once you have, as a recruiter or RC, has initiated the feedback, another email goes out to the panel chair. Panel chair is being provided with the notes you have entered and a link which takes them to the Hiring Mgr Feedback tool. Once you click on the link, it takes them to the Hiring Mgr Feedback tool. The first page captures the confirm for the identity. Once they have done, press Enter. Second page is basically showing up all the candidates which has been selected. All they need to do is provide the feedback. We can add some structured questions or such questions for the hiring manager when they're completing the feedback. Let's quickly submit one. Once they have figured out, and if they want to view in detailed candidate application or resume, they can double click on the name to view the candidate resume application form and assessment tabs. They can click on the arrow icon to view different candidates. And if they wish to go back to the normal view, they can click on the list view at the top of the button right side, which will take straight to the list view. Once hiring manager has selected and given feedback for all candidates, press Confirm and Proceed. We have a message says your feedback has been saved. All they need to do is now submit. Once it's been submitted, email will be triggered to the recruiter, notifying that the hiring manager has completed. As from the recruiter's perspective, they can view the feedback. By right-clicking on the folder on which they have created the feedback and click on the View Feedback tab. Once they're done, they can view the feedback against the candidate, and also the structured feedback will be mentioned within the comment section at the last column. It will be generated in a PDF format. Therefore, in case if you wish to save and print out or email, you can save and attach it and send out to the other associated members. The next topic is Hiring Mgr Access. The following wizard allows you to add Hiring Mgr against a requisition, which will give access to Springboard to view the applications. However, it gives limited access to Hiring Mgr users to perform, which means the user will only view the requisitions on which he or she is assigned as Hiring Manager. A good use case for this can be that Hiring Mgr can log in anytime and start viewing the applications rather than to wait till the end of the advertising period. This is usually used when Hiring Mgr is eager to start processing without waiting for the candidate to be shortlisted. Rather, they want to shortlist the candidate by themselves. To add a Hiring Mgr or Hiring Mgr Access, you will need to find the requisition on which you want to add. Once you have found, click on the reference number to view the requisition details screen. Then click on the Manage Hiring Mgr button and press Configure. Once you have pressed Configure, you can find from the drop-down a list of different managers or system users. If the user is not available over there, you can press Create New and start filling up information, and that will add them as a system user. In this case, I've already added a couple of hiring managers. Once you have done, an email will be triggered to the hiring manager. The email will be saying that you have been assigned an access to Springboard and your link to the following job. All they need to do is click here to log in, and then system will take them straight into Springboard. Let me find out the screen. Sorry. So once you click on that link, as a Hiring Mgr Access, all they can see is jobs, those on which they have been assigned as hiring manager, and if there's any interview aligned for them. They can click on the job to view in a read-only manner of all the information which is there on requisition details. They can click on Search Application and start viewing the application form in the same manner what Recruiter can. However, we can define different level of access to the hiring manager, which means in this case, they cannot see any communication being sent out or being resent to the candidate. However, they have other options where they can add screening comments, or they can also add tags if required. The last option for the Hiring Mgr tool is Bulkprint. Let's go back to the Search Application tab. The following tool allows you to merge all applications documents into one PDF, and that can be emailed to the hiring manager. This is another way for reviewing applications. Now, some hiring managers prefer to get that in their PDF version so that they can skim the applications before the interview. Let's say to do so, all you need to do is, again, be the application grid. Select those candidates on which they want to generate Bulkprint. Right-click to view the Select Action menu. Go to the Review Tools and click Bulkprint. Give a name to the Bulkprint. Decide what details you want to share with the hiring managers. If you want to send an email directly, press Email the file and give the email address. And you can also add message within the email body. You can also decide if you want to share candidate notes or not. screening details, or interview details if you're sending this bulk print as an interview guide. Once you have done, all you need to do is press bulk print. A bulk print will be initiated. It usually takes a couple of minutes to generate the document. To view the status of the document, you can click on the Candidate tab and press bulk print. The following tab will show you the status of where the bulk print is right now. Once the bulk print has been completed, the status will change to done, and the following file can be accessed by the recruiter as well, and by clicking on the name of the file. Now it's time, till it's taking time to view the bulk print, now it's time to talk about the next topic, which is offer processing and document library. Let's go back to an existing requisition. I'll pick up the one which I have applied on the go. Yep. Move that to the employed step because let's say a candidate has actually gone through the whole process and come to the final press stage. To change status, right-click on the folder, select what status you want to move and press Change Status. And that way candidate gets moved to the step. Now with the offer processing, Springboard is capable enough to generate offer letters as a rich text file and allow the candidate to accept or decline the offer letters through the careers portal. To generate the offer letter, the first thing is to make sure that the offer detail form has been completed. The following details is basically capturing about information which can be used in the offer letter as a dynamic text. So that way you don't have to create or manually enter this information in offer detail or in the offer form. Once you have filled the form, press Save. Once you have filled the offer details page, all you need to do again is right-click on the candidate, go to Manage Offer, click on Generate Rich Letter. You can select from the pre-selected templates which will be available in the Documents tab. In this case, just select any random and press Generate Letter. Once the letter has been generated, it will be available for you to view from the Offer Letter tab. All you need to do is click on View and press Open. A Word document will be open shortly. This is an example where you can see that the job reference has automatically populated, candidate name, email address, and other information which has been captured within Springboard. Once you have figured out that, yep, all document looks correct, all you can do is click on the right on the checkbox and then decide whether you want to move the candidate to offer accepted or decline. Once you figure out that, yep, the following decisions are correct, press Publish. After clicking on Publish, from the candidate perspective, there will be a new tab called Starting with Us, and then it has all the documents which is required their attention, including the documents which we just made it available over there. You can see all the tabs, including My Offer tabs, Documents, and My Forms. The following tabs are usually a part of the onboarding process. We can configure the text across. From the candidate side, they can click on the PDF document to view the document and check of all the information, which is again being pre-populated and being assigned against the job. They can also have different documents, which can be a part of the new starter process. Also can capture new employee detail form, which is usually used to get candidate payroll details. The last topic for now is going to be talent pipelines and candidate search. Let's go back to Springboard. Candidate search or talent pipeline is basically defining a passive sourcing for a future role. Let's say you want to know, or you want to find candidates who have implementation mentioned within the resume, who has some histories or say consultant. You can also define different section from the search criteria. You can also select from the different tabs to know whether the candidate has responded any questions from the application form. And if that's the way you want, you can definitely add extra filters to find. Once you have finalized all your filters, all you need to do is find candidate. With the following filter, looks like it has only get me one result. And let's say you decided to save this filter for future talent search, or maybe a passive search. To do so, click on the magnifying glass again. And then at the right top, click on the folder floppy drive icon and click Save Talent Pipeline. Give a name to the talent pipeline, size. And add it to the dashboard. You do have different options whether you want to view or make it visible to other users, or if you want to make it a dynamic pipeline, you can receive an alert and set up a time frame, yes, to receive an alert from now till a month. And that way, every time if a candidate applies for any position, and if that matches the criteria, the system will send you an email and will notify you. You can also add the matching candidate straight into a talent folder, which can be used for your future roles. Once you have done, press Save. Or you can come back on your dashboard and configure by adding another tab called My Talent Pipeline. So that way, anytime a candidate matches the results, you can view how many candidates are right now. You can click on the total icon and then it will take you straight to the candidate search again. Again, for the candidate search, all you need to do is click on the candidates tab and press candidate search. That will take you back to the same page where we started the process. That was part of the session 2. Now I'm